Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Martine, and if you are new here, I do videos on Vedic astrology mainly, but also with some tropical insights, and I focus on both relationship and natal astrology. And if you like this video and you would like to see more content from me, please like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell to see when I will post another video. And also comment in the comment section with anything you would like to share. And if you're interested in a personal consultation, I do consultations on a wide variety of topics. You can check out the video description. I will leave my contact information there, and you can email me for a full list of reading options as well as prices and other details. And also, more recently, I have started memberships on this channel, so I'm going to give you a short introduction into that. Basically, the main perks that each membership level entails is one extra video per members level each month. So, and I will be posting these members only videos between the first of the current month and the first of the following month. So I am not going to promise that I, will post them like every week or something like that, because I cannot set, a fixed date. So far, I haven't been able to schedule things that precisely. But I will be posting at least 3 extra videos, members only videos, one per each level each month, like I said. And for each level, you have access to the videos from the previous level as well. So for the level 1, you have 1 extra video per month. For level 2, you have 2 extra videos per month. And for level 3, you have 3 extra videos per month. In addition to that, you will have access to members-only polls and comment section, community tabs as well, and posts. And also you will have a priority when it comes to getting your comments responded to by me. And in addition to that, if you want to see the prices for each level, you can click the join button underneath the video and you will see the prices for each membership level. And of course, you can cancel at any point and you will see this price in your local currency. And in addition to that as well, you can check the playlists of all the videos I have done so far for each member's level. In the video description, I will link those in case you want to check them out. And of course, if you purchase a membership, you will have access to all the videos I've posted up until this point. All right. And aside from the memberships, I have also started a tarot channel more recently than this channel. So if you are interested in tarot, I will be linking it in the video description, as well as in the pinned comment. And I also do tarot readings. You can find more information about that on my tarot channel in the video descriptions for each video. If you're curious to find out more about them, you can also see reviews to readings I have done, private readings, if you're curious to see them. But yes, if you're interested in tarot, go ahead and check out my channel. Maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, so today's topic is going to be not directly astrology related. In fact, I would say it's not at all astrology related. It's just one of those videos that I do from time to time. Those of you who have been on my channel for a while, you know that I like to, talk about miscellaneous topics that have to do with the world, mostly. And this video is one of them. It's going to be a very short rant, short, but I think to the point and has to be said. And it's about this conflict that has started. Well, it's not only actually, it's about the bigger topic of people getting worked up about the news and how the news is almost entirely negative. Now, I don't want this to sound insensitive at all. Obviously, there's a war going on right now in Israel, between Israel and, the Palestinians. And basically, the idea for this topic came to me, and it's something that, again, I have been thinking about for a long time, and I wanted to talk about. It just brought up this topic once again in my to the forefront of my existence of the news and getting worked up about things you cannot change. So basically that's the main thing that I want to say through this video, because again, since this conflict has started, I've had a lot of people say to me, I actually have, I have never been to Israel, but, it really saddens me to hear what has happened. I have an online friend from Israel. Obviously, I know people who live there. So somehow I do feel mildly connected, even though I don't, I haven't directly lived there or anything. And also I'm not Jewish. But, it really horrifies me to think that, I could have been one of these tourists who was caught in these ambushes, because years ago I actually wanted to travel there alone. But eventually I ended up canceling last minute because I couldn't leave due to work. In any case, it's just horrible what is happening. And I see, of course, that YouTube and all the media outlets are full of news about how horrible it is and what is happening and how horrible the Palestinians are and what is going on there. And honestly, it really just pisses me off to some extent, just as I was pissed off when the conflict started between Russia and Ukraine. It was the same thing, and basically, I'm the kind of person that has this mentality of, why get worked up about things that you cannot change? Now, bear with me, because what I'm trying to say is not to have a mentality of, defeatism. Not at all. Quite the contrary. But what I'm trying to say is, if you are in a position where you cannot change anything about the situation, then what good does it do you or anyone around you or the people who are being, victimized right now and have been victimized by these conflicts? What good does it do anyone for you to sit there and consume this, news about the horrible things that are happening and, the crimes and whatever, like in gruesome details, and then to watch images and get all worked up and pissed off and wanting to, get out there and beat someone up? What good is it doing any of this? What good is this doing except basically adding more fuel to the fire and feeding the egos of the ignorant apes who start these kinds of conflicts, right? I remember, and this is my attitude about everything, like, I literally refuse to watch the news to a large extent unless I hear it from someone else, and this is in general about everything, because, I realize it doesn't do me any good to get pissed off about something that I don't have any power to change. The same thing about the war in Ukraine. When the war started, I was incredibly angry about all the news that came out. I actually have a video up that I posted about my thoughts about it and whatever. And that's it. I thought about it then. I spoke my piece, what I thought about the conflict. And that was it. I dropped it. I no longer thought about it, even though Ukraine is, pretty close to me. So I don't think about it. And I actually worked with Ukrainian refugees. I had, my last place of employment, I had a colleague who came from Ukraine, and I just don't want to think about it. I mean, true, she wasn't like complaining about it or anything because we were in a work setting, but I would overhear some conversations, and I purposefully tried, to not get involved, to not listen to this stuff, because again, what you're doing is you're feeding into the sense of glory and the sense of power that these psychopaths get from getting the whole world worked up about the shit that they're doing. I had the same attitude about Afghanistan. I had the same attitude about Iran. And it's not because I am not empathetic. Quite the contrary. I have a lot of empathy. I can't even imagine what, the women, for instance, in Afghanistan or Iran have gone through. But that's just it. Again, how is me suffering also somehow making things better? If I would have been in a position of power where I could have made a difference, then I would sought to, get as much information as possible and, made the right decision in order to make the right decision. For instance, if I were in a position of power or, I don't know, some kind of position of strategy, military strategy, then I can understand, of course, you want to get all the information you need. But if you're like, someone far away who does not have any kind of power of decision about anything connected to these incidents, then again, how is it helping? You're just basically feeding into the egos of these, evil, psychopathic, narcissistic bitches who start these conflicts. You're just basically, because this is exactly what they get high on, like, look at us, they're like monkeys beating themselves across the chest. Like, look at how horrible we can be. Look at us, we killed another child, Pretty much, that's it. And you're like sitting there getting worked up about it, and it's just feeding them. I would say, again, I don't want to get too woo-woo, but I think really, even energetically, if you get worked up about, POSs, pieces of shit, then you're basically like energetically, you're just feeding their, you're feeding their fire on some level. You're sending more energy their way instead of sending energy, if at all, to the victims, empowering the victims on some level. And if you can't do that, if you cannot empower the victims on any level, then the best thing to do is to just be cold-blooded, indifferent. Don't waste your energy on these situations that you cannot change. And don't waste your energy on the narcissists of the world, because this is exactly what they are. These people who start conflicts, none of them is a sane person. Nobody just decides to start an unprovoked war. And, I understand the unprovoked part is always debatable, but it always basically depends on the level of delusion of the people who start the conflicts, right? Because let's not forget, the president of Russia also said that there were terrorists in Ukraine, and that's why he started the conflict. I mean, I don't know. So it's crazy to me, it's like, I don't understand why people, and again, I'm sorry if it's a rant and I keep repeating myself, but it's just, I don't understand. I mean, I do understand it's for views, okay, that people talk about this all the time, and now YouTube is full of videos about what's going on in Israel, and of course, when the conflict in Ukraine started, it was full about that, and when, with Afghanistan and Iran, it was full of that. And now it's like multiple things happening at the same time. And it's like everything is just hyper-focused on these negative things. And again, I just don't think that it actually helps anyone to complain, not to complain, but to get worked up about it, Just as when you are dealing with an individual narcissist, right? If they see you getting angry, that gives them pleasure. That makes them enjoy themselves. That makes them actually do the same thing even more. That's another thing that I wanted to get at. So you see, do you think these people, by the way, who start these conflicts, do you think they don't have access to YouTube, to the media? And think about the fact that, every time someone posts another video about the horrible things that have happened in one of these conflicts, these monkeys are also looking at them, and probably praising each other and having a blast, seeing people suffering and seeing other people being horrified and worked up and angry about what they're doing. Pretty much, this is what I wanted to say. So it's just as when you deal with an individual narcissist, you don't want to let them know that they have hurt you, even if they have hurt you. I'm not trying to say forgive. I'm not trying to say give up. Quite the contrary. But I am trying to say be smart about how you use your energy. Wait for the right time when you will have the ability and the power to strike in vengeance, maybe, if you feel vengeful about anything. But don't get worked up when you are not in a position to change anything. That's my general mentality. Bless these bitches with indifference. Because you know what? There's nothing that they would hate more than indifference. Imagine right now how these, any of these groups, not just the Palestinians or the terrorists in Israel, imagine how they would feel if nobody would give a shit about what they're doing. Do you think they would feel worse or better? I would say they would feel worse, right? Because they have put all this effort into this, monkey business and this attacks on innocent people and tourists including and children and all this shit. And if they would see no media reports about it, I think they would be pretty pissed. It's kind of like you preparing a party for like 2 years or a wedding and, nobody would show up or like nobody would say anything. They would not post, let's say you would post pictures of a wedding on social media, on Instagram and whatever, and nobody would give you a like. You would be pretty pissed, right? All this effort to get some validation and nobody notices what you're doing. So think about it. What do you think would hurt a narcissist most? Indifference or getting angry about things? I don't know. This is just my 2 cents, honestly. And again, not an astrology related video. So I appreciate it if you have listened to my little rant. And of course, feel free to comment in the comment section. And please try to keep it civil. And also, please try to avoid keywords as well, maybe. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you. And I hope to see you, of course, at my other videos, because I haven't forgotten that I still have a lot of topics to cover, of course, and they're going to come up soon. All right. Thank you for listening.